Positioning the product is crucial to its performance. Get this right, and the rest of the basic installation will be a lot easier. It's suggested you use a test piece to help with this portion of the installation, a piece like Ronnie is using.
Very important to where you get the brake, to get the proper brake. Okay? As far as over braking, under braking, or braking, the brake has to hit the roof. It has to hit the roof in order for the product to be strong.
It has to be a downward pitch.
It has to be at least an inch or ½ inch to an inch pitch, and I'll show you that. Let's make two different brakes. Notice this brake needs to be flush with the roof here. Needs to have an inch and a ½ pitch. We're going to put this in the brake. I use the lines 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where I use my brakes.
So we're breaking this at number 3. 1, 2, 3.
We're going to break it number 3. I'm going to break this one at number 3, and I'm going to break this one the wrong way, the way I've seen.
Okay.
And I'll show you the difference.
Gotcha.
What we're going to do is break this piece at brake line number 3. 1, 2, 3. So what I'm going to show you first is the right way. Okay? You notice pretty much sets on the roof. If it's not touching the roof, make it touch the roof. You want it to
just with hand pressure, right?
just want it to fit the roof. So if it does,
so your shingle doesn't raise.
So your shingle doesn't raise. If it's over broke, this is what you'll get. It'll raise the shingle up.
Got it.
The flat area doesn't fit.
Right.
Once you screw it down, it'll bulge up. You see it popping up? So you want it to fit to the roof. If the brake fits the roof, this is just your template. All right? You got a screw back here. You screw to the front. What I want you to do, take your palm of the heel of your hand and push back on this product. Not going to move. By having the product broke, not fitting the roof, as some people do, now push back on it. Absolutely, that's what we find.
That's what ice and snow's going to do.
This is the wrong, the heat and the snow. For beginners, you should always have test pieces in your truck and check each section of gutter before you install, before you break any material. You have to have it right. We're going to measure the brake on both sides of the topper to determine we got a straight brake. Now this one here is going to be approximately 5½ inches. So to this side, we're measuring from the nose of the product, 5½ inches. So we have an equal brake. And we're going to put it in the brake, put it on our lines. Break it using this to be the roof pitch. And come back a little bit. Then we're going to take it back to the roof and check it. We're going to come over and we're going to set the brake up so that every piece is going to come out exactly the same, exactly the same brake. The measurement on our test piece was 5½ inches. The only thing we're going to do is use the same 5½ inches on this one and make a mark. And that's from the nose to the back. On both ends, we're going to make the same measurement. Now we're going to set it in the brake. Got our measurements. So we're going to get an exact break across the whole 5-foot piece. Then we're going to take our stoppers, slide them in to where they touch the back of the topper. The reason for that is so you don't have to make any more measurements as long as this piece fits the entire house. Now we're ready to make our break. Notice, again, the roof pitch, and it comes back. Product broke evenly.
Remember that the product needs to have a 1/2 to 1 inch downward pitch from back to front. You can make sure you have the proper pitch with a ruler and level.
Just put our level on it from the breaking point where it hits the roof to try to see how much of a pitch we got. We need a 1/2 inch to 1 inch pitch. Notice the bubble is level and the measurement on the measuring stick. What that does is it lets the debris escape instead of setting there. Now if you take this one that's broken wrong, by the time it builds back, it lets the debris set there. So it builds up. You need to have the proper pitch so the debris can escape.
The proper positioning procedure is also outlined in your installation manual.
Right there you can see in there, this is what they call a weir. And the nose, you can see how they got it lined up. We're not lining up with the gutter. We don't care about with the gutter because gutter waves. You can see the flat area, they call it the flat area, and then the lip is the part that hooks on the gutter. That needs to be all flat and straight. The proper position of the nose and the wear on the topper should be level, straight up and down with each other. This and this, as you can see, I bump them. They should be level, straight up and down. Helps the debris drop off instead of dropping in.
When installing the first piece of a gutter run, you must cut off the overlap to eliminate an opening which could allow animals to enter the gutter system.
Just quite easily by taking your topper. You can put you a mark if you like. Come back here, cut your overlap off. Just eyeballing it. Try to cut as nice as you can, of course. By doing that, it does away with the opening in the front. Notice, you need to keep the topper back about a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch, just so your end cap will fit in. When putting the screw in, you need to keep the nose of the topper back and put the screw in the very end. Keep them from scratching the nose of the topper. This helps keep the water from dripping off the edge. You can put your fingers there and use your thumb to push the topper back. Making sure the screw is you got one screw every foot. Making sure the wear is nice and flat or tilled in to prevent dripping. Every foot gets another screw. The reason we're working right to left, if you're on a ladder, left to right, if you're on the roof, you always start from this end. The reason I put a screw in the end is I noticed over the years, the water travels down, so the screw helps get it inside instead of it comes in and hits the end cap and goes inside instead of dripping. I've been out to several jobs across the country and stuff to where they thought the end cap was leaking, but they had their screw way back here, and when the water hit here, it dripped. So this screw actually helps prevent that.
So now it is time to insert the deck screws into the roof under the shingles.
We're going to use 1 1/4 inch galvanized deck screw. Put your one deck screw in. Notice, always put them in this area. Helps keep the pressure off the topper. When you have a break in your topper, you only need one deck screw, approximately every foot. Notice, I didn't bury the deck screw. It just pulls the topper tight, so we don't have to put a lot of pressure and make the topper buckle anywhere. Notice everywhere I put it's in the track. Got to keep the screw straight. Don't bury it. Just snug it. It does prevent the buckling. The end cap is designed for a 5 and a 6-inch gutter, so you don't have to pack out 2 end caps for a 5 and 6-inch. One fits all. Easily by doing that, just trim off from the top of the end cap to the bottom, approximately 3/4 of an inch. Nice and straight. Then the end cap fits right underneath. Fits perfectly. The end cap right here at the edge is designed to go with the top brake on the topper. That way it keeps every end cap on every end exactly the same. The end cap goes under the topper, not over, under. This is the proper way. Pull the end cap forward, gently. Put a screw in, pull tight. Another screw. Pull tight. End cap is installed. Now having the end cap installed, we need to install an end cap diverter. As you can see, it's designed for several pitches of the roof. Just simply install underneath the topper. Raise the end cap just slightly. Down in the inside of the end cap. Have your diverter. You may need to trim the shingle tab on the edge to get the diverter and the shingle to lay properly together. This bottom piece has to be in the back of the gutter. If it's not, and it stops here, you'll have leakage. All right, you have to go inside of the gutter. Simply raising the shingle, screw in. Now what I do is to get all this to come together, I come down a little bit below my brake. I put another screw in, and if you notice how this is all loose, once I put my screw in, you notice it's stiffened it all up.
And it brings
Keeps
this
me
hole
from-
closed. Nothing
Brings
can get
most of the hole closed. It keeps me from putting a screw in the end cap now. I can keep everything above. Also, this is my touch that I like to do. Cut that off. You need to be sure and check behind the end cap that there's not going to be a hole. If bird holes can be anywhere from a 1/2 inch to 2 inches. It needs to be covered up, a handmade piece, and put in here. Usually if your finger will fit in it, a bird will fit in it. This is easily to fix by just taking a scrap piece of material, cutting it to fit. Simply cut the fit, bend it over. You can see it's cut nice, looks good, goes right back in place, and you can put a screw right in it. Put a screw right in the outside. Covering the hole up.
So now it's time to continue with the installation.
You can notice you got a 1-inch overlap, so you can have it actually go over top of the topper, snap in place, slide together. What this does is allow the nose, everything, and give you a place to actually add additional screws to keep the topper together. Also, you want to notice up here, you want to keep an eye out for this, where you're going to end up putting a deck screw. You don't want it to be in the water tab. Otherwise, the screw it'd be open for the water and debris and stuff to set on the screw, causing it to possibly leak. So what we're going to do, this is where your topper normally is setting right now. The easy way to do this to keep from just cutting on any of the top or the surface on top is just gently cut one notch off. Come back to your second notch. Cut it. Open the topper. Now by doing this, you can notice this is where the topper was. Just gently slide it down. Gets your screw approximately 2 inches under the shingle now, not up here. Anytime you add to an existing piece of topper, make sure you have a factory machine cut, not a man cut. Gently just keep your bottom of the track where you're going to put the zip screw together. Then again, put your zip screw in the end of it, making sure that your flat area is actually flat. Come up on the front of the topper, about approximately 1 inch back. Push your seam so it's all tightened up. Add your screw. Notice, let the screw tighten the topper. Don't use the screw to strip out the hole. That way it keeps it tight. Continue down approximately every foot. No need to put the rest of the screws in here until you got all your back screws in. That will allow to be no pressure. Once you get all your toppers set, you'll come back and you'll put your other 2 screws in. By doing that, it allows it not to have no pressure, as much pressure, and it doesn't have no oil canning. About every foot. Notice again, I'm just snugging the screws down nice and tight. Up here on your last piece, by cutting the front, it's going to allow our deck screw to go back underneath the shingle now. This is the time you can go ahead, put in your zip screws. Notice how it keeps it nice and shut, nice and gently. Don't strip